And this is still Good Morning Abuja coming to you from the Unity Station NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Next on the program is a background report. This background report is on the landmarks in the FCT, landmarks that makes the national symbol. National symbol like the National Mosque, the National Economical Christian Center, and the National Assembly, and lots more. Blossom is there to actually tell you, or not, don't let me tell you the remaining. Blossom, take it from here.
Welcome to one of the country with peace, unity, freedom, and love. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nigeria. Welcome to the journey through some Nigeria's iconic landmarks, each a testament to the nation's identity and heritage. Behind me is one of the landmarks in Abuja, FCT, which is the National Assembly. This is an architectural grandeur of occasion where the importance of democracy is being carried out. Its two chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives, echo with debate, discussion, and the voices of Nigerians' elected representatives. The National Assembly symbolizes the people's power to shape their own destiny, reflecting Nigeria's identity as a democratic nation committed to the rule of law and governance by the people. This is another iconic landmark in our great nation, Nigeria, and this is the Federal Secretariat. This is where administrative officials' offices are situated. The Federal Secretariat in Nigeria typically refers to the administrative headquarters or central offices of the government ministries, departments, and agencies. It serves as a hub for decision-making, policy formulation, and the coordination of government activities at the federal level. This faculty plays a crucial role in the functioning of the Nigerian government. Welcome to another iconic landscape in our glorious nation, Nigeria. And this here is the National Mosque. This is where the Muslim come to pray. It is not only a place of prayer, but it's a symbol of unity. The National Mosque is a majestic structure. It is not just a place of worship, but a symbol of unity. Its gleaming white domes and towering minarets stand tall against the city skyline. The National Mosque signifies lies in its ability to bring together people from diverse backgrounds and beliefs, emphasizing the importance of religious tolerance in Nigeria. Welcome to another iconic landmark in Abuja, here in our glorious nation, Nigeria. And this is the National Christian Center, where Christians gather to worship. The nation's Christian Center, which stands as a profound testament of faith, architecture, and cultural significance. This majestic structure is a spiritual oasis and an architectural marvel. Welcome to another wonderful landmark in our glorious nation, Nigeria. And here we have the Central Bank of Nigeria, which governs the flow of all monetary funds in the country, and they are the headquarters of all other banks in Nigeria. Another iconic stop is the Central Bank of Nigeria, which is the heart of Nigeria. Amidst the hustle and bustle of its economic nerve center, stands an institution that is the guardian of monetary stability, the architect of financial policies, and the custodian of the nation's economic aspiration. Next, we journey to the iconic Zuma Rock, a geological wonder that looms large over Nigeria's landscape, rising 725 meters above the surrounding plains. It is often called the gateway to Abuja. But beyond its impressive statue, Zuma Rock holds deep cultural and spiritual significance. It is referred by the indigenous Gwari people as a deity, symbolizing strength, and the legend that surrounds it, making it a striking representation of Nigerians' cultural diversity and the profound connection between nature and heritage. Our final stop is the iconic Millennium Park. It is also called the sprawling Millennium Park, an urban oasis in the heart of Abuja. Here, amidst lush greenery and serene water bodies, Nigerian natural beauty is being showcased. The park it's named after signifies a leap into the future, marking the turn of millennium. Millennium Park is a symbol of Nigerians' commitment to the preserving of environment and providing spaces for its environment, and also providing spaces for the citizen to relax and connect with nature. It reflects the nation's aspiration for a greener and more suitable future. As we conclude this journey through Nigeria's iconic landmarks, we see a tapestry woven with threads of diversity, spirituality, unity, and democracy. These landmarks stand as a beacon of hope and pride for Nigeria, representing the nation's past, present, and the promise of a bright future.
Thank you, Blossom, for that background report. She gave us the background report, the landmarks in the FCT that serves as a national identity. We saw landmarks like the National Mosque, the Christian Economic Center, the National Assembly, and others. Moving on the program, we have here with us a political analyst that will be talking about the journey so far. Join us in welcoming Jide Ojo, our special guest for today. Welcome
Thank
to
you
the
very
morning,
much.
Abuja.
To the program.
Okay.
Congratulations on
Yes,
62.
to all of us.
Yes,
To all of us.
yes, yes. So, how did Nigeria get her independence?
The independence of Nigeria did not come on a platter.
Mm.
This came after over 100 years of colonial rule.
Okay.
Before the 100 years, a century of colonial rule, we were under what is called we have slave trade, we have transatlantic and trans-Saharan slave trade, a lot of intertribal wars and all of that.
Mm.
So thereafter, the British came and colonized us for a century, and the 60s happens to be the era of decolonization in Africa.
Mhm.
Although countries like Ghana got its own independence in 1957, Liberia got its own, few countries got theirs. But for the majority of African countries under colonial rule, whether you're talking of French or British or Portuguese or Belgian colonial rule, most of them got their independence in the 60s. So we in Nigeria were lucky to be among the first in the 1960s. In fact, about 5 countries got their independence in Africa in 1960. Nigeria happens to be one of them. It could have been earlier, but we stand on a tripod. And when the Hausas, the Igbos, and the Yorubas said, oh, we were ready for independence, the North, the Hausa Fulani people said, no, let's have some better preparation for us to have our independence. But the long story short was that 1st October 1960, the Union Jack, which was the symbol of authority, the flag in Nigeria, was lowered, and in space we have the green, white, green, which signifies the Nigerian national flag. Then, after the independence in 1960, we did not become a republic until 1963, which was 3 years after. It is important to note that we also had what was called Independence Constitution. We started having constitutions way back in 1922. That's Clifford Constitution. Then in 1946, we have the Richards Constitutions. Then we have Littleton Constitution 1954. Then we have the Independent Constitution 1960. We have the Republican Constitution 1963. Thereafter, we have the 1979 Constitution. So, while we are celebrating 63rd anniversary of Nigeria's independence, we are also celebrating a century of electoral democracy in Nigeria, because election started in 1923. So after the Clifford Constitution of 1922, the first election took place in 1923. So when you take account, this is the 100th year that we've been having elections in Nigeria.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Wow. I have two very important questions for you that is going to come back to back. Before I bring the other one, I would like to ask 63 years anniversary we are celebrating. As a nation now, with what we are going through at the moment, do we really have reasons to say that we are celebrating?
Yes,
Okay.
very well. Although, if you go by present pains and hardship and
Yes.
all of that, you say, what is there to celebrate? I mean, that's not, no, we should be calm.
Good.
We have a lot to celebrate.
Celebrate.
Our unity in diversity is cause for celebration. Our sustenance of nationhood calls for celebration. I was on another media platform earlier last week, and I went memory lane. Many countries that started with us are no more. They have disintegrated or they are crisis ridden. Look at DRC, DR Congo.
Yes, yes.
DR Congo has never known peace. Look at many people didn't know that India, as we have it today, was India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. They were together. They disintegrated. Czechoslovakia has broken into two countries, Czech Republic and Slovak Republic. Yugoslavia, in fact, they have to fight for many years under Slobodan Milosevic. They fought. Now we have about five of them, 5 countries coming out of Yugoslavia. After hundreds of thousands have died. The more popular one is USSR. I'm sure when you and I were born, whether in the 60s like me or in the 70s, we know USSR. But today, USSR is 15 countries. They have disintegrated. Look at Sudan. Sudan used to be Sudan, one. Now we have South Sudan, disintegrated, separated from the Sudanese government. But today, what is the story of those countries that have disintegrated? Can they say they were proud, even as individual countries? In case you do not know, South Sudan today got independence in 2011. They only enjoyed less than 2 years of peace. When they were under Sudan, they thought it was the Omar al-Bashir and the North that was the problem. So they disintegrated. They said, oh, we want to control our resources. The Abiy and the all of Darfur. Now, they had their own country. But from 2013 to date, 10 years of civil strife among brothers, countries where you say they have become homogeneous. They are no longer North and South. So what I'm saying in essence is that Nigeria fought for 3 years, lost over 1 million souls in a fratricidal civil war of 1967 to 70, and we survived. That tells you something, that we are better off together. We have our issues, no doubt, like every other nation. America has their own issue. America got independence from Britain in 1776. And they are still having issues. With their elections, they have issues. With their nationality, they have issues. If I tell you, and this is something you can fact check, how many mass shooting has taken place in US to this year alone? And how many lives have been lost as a result of that mass shooting? You will know, say, Nigeria.
We have every reason to celebrate.
But modest, sober reflection. As we celebrate, we cannot roll out the drums for the memory of people who we have lost, whether in civil war or to banditry or to insurgency. We have to be sensitive. One, the economy is not doing well. But it's not peculiar to Nigeria.
Today, we are going to hold it there because we are going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we will continue because I told you I was going to ask you 2 questions back to back. You were able to give us a response to just one. Well, we have been talking about the journey so far as we celebrate Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary. And our political analyst has been talking about the journey. So it is still with us here in the studio. Yes, you give us the elaborate reasons for us to celebrate our nation, Nigeria. Now, the next question is how does our ethnic and religious diversity affect our political and social developments after independence?
Now, this is where it becomes very tricky. The political class have largely exploited our tribal and ethnic sentiments to their own advantage.
Okay, how?
What they do is to find the ember of discord. Look at this year's election. Oh, uh, these people are bad. These people cannot be president. These people rigged me out. These people, even where there are no basis or facts supporting your claim. We saw how this year's general election tested our nationality because we had three frontline candidates, each from different ethnic groups. It then become like if you see the reflection of the voting pattern, people voted along their ethnic and religious divides.
Yes.
And so people are calling to question why is this one getting more than its fair share? And that you cannot but query such because of limited resources. So everybody wants this is a cake before us.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Everybody wants a share of that cake.
Yeah,
But that cake is no more than this.
Yeah, you're talking about resources now. It brings me to the question: how did Nigeria's oil wealth influence its governance and um, foreign relations?
Very well. Beautiful question. Now, our, I should say, our over dependence
Okay.
on crude oil has been more of a cause
Wow.
than
Blessing.
blessing. And the reason is this. Before the oil exploration started about 1958 in Oloibiri in present-day Bayelsa, we were largely earning our national income from agriculture.
Yes.
Then, when this oil exploration we started about 1956, and then they started, commercial, exploration in 1958, and we started making mega bucks. We gradually forgot about agriculture.
Wow.
And that was when our former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, said, our problem is not money,
It's not money.
but how to spend
How
it.
to spend the money.
You can just imagine our mentality. Our mentality changed. That's this whole issue of moving Nigeria from consumption to production. That's where we lost it. We lost production. We became consumers. Because the money was coming in, we don't have to labor for it so much. I don't know whether you started work in 1975. I wasn't. I was a toddler then. But my father enjoyed what was called Udoji Award. 1975. They just said, all of you work as federal state, get more money, take more. So people started, even some people started marrying more wives.
Wow.
People were buying electronic gadgets and things they never thought they could afford. And then that sets in motion inflation. You see, if we have managed our oil wealth effectively and use it to expand and diversify into other money spending areas, it will not have been a cause. Take for instance, if we have not abandoned agriculture and used the oil wealth to even, let me put it this way, if we have used it to enhance and do value addition to our agriculture, we will not be where we are now. And how do I mean? Look, today, one thing that Nigeria lacks is science, technology, and innovation. Why did I say that? You see, we're still doing farm and hoe agric, subsistence farming.
Yes.
You can feed a nation of over 200 million. Doing this size, the size of this your studio, in 365 days, and you have 4 wives, 20 children, they will finish what you are producing. So whoever does not produce, what will he buy in the market? So other countries, what they do is that when they discover oil, they were using money from there, they were investing in science, technology, and innovation. So they started doing what is called mechanized farming. They started subsidizing that, and then they also invested heavily in the exploration of solid minerals. Did you know that for over 40 years, this Ajaokuta steel mill has become moribund? If we are able to revive that steel mill, and this is why I talked about science, technology, and innovation. If we had been able to revive Ajaokuta steel mill or completed it, I've passed through that a number of times while going to Enugu. And I saw the massive complex, including residential, quarters for staff. I discovered if we have been able to use science, technology, and innovation and diversify all the steel and iron that we are importing from Europe, we will not need to import it.
Well,
So it becomes a drain, and now that we are challenged with oil weight, this is oil that we don't determine the price in Nigeria. The basic law of economy is that if I have a good to sell, let's say I want to sell this cake, and you want to buy, you ask me, how much are you selling this? I will tell you 20,000. You will say 5,000. You negotiate with me. But in our own case, we are not the one negotiating with the buyer. It's the buyer that is telling us, take it or leave it. I'm buying for $5.
So thank you for coming on the program. Like today's 6th tray, we're all celebrating.
We need to cut this now.
Don't worry, we'll cut this. We do really appreciate your time with us on the program. We thank you for coming once again.
My pleasure. Other celebrations.
Congratulations to all of us. Yes, we have been speaking with our political analyst, Jide Ojo, and together we looked at journey so far as we celebrate our dear nation, Nigeria. It is a collective effort, according to his advice. We should come together and make our nation, Nigeria, work. Now we're going to go on this quick break. When we come back, the program continues. Stay with us, please.